The county's bullshit. Just imagine if everyone having to deal with the county get with the 21st century in all aspects of our county.
On March the 28th, from 9 until 2, there's a social services fair at the Nye Communities Coalition, and it's for anybody who wants to get more information. There's a raffle drawing, and they'll get information to you on health and human services and things like that, and anything that you might need. So it's a good opportunity to find out what you can and cannot do to get some of the things that you might need. We also have the 22nd annual Pahrump Earth Day, Arbor Day celebration in 2025. That is on Saturday, the 26th, from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And I believe that's held at the it says a Bob Rudd Center, and it's hosted by Southern Nye County Conservation District. We have free courses on youth mental health first aid, and that starts on April the 1st at from 8 until 5. If you want to register, the information is here to do so, or contact Nye Community Coalition and they can get you involved. We also have Positive Prevention Plus, which is in regards to sex education, to be empowered and educated, and it's also an 8-hour course. Must be, the ages are 13 to 24. Children under 18 must have parents' permission. So that's something that could be very important. And then on April the 1st, it's Go Blue Day. Wear blue to show you support all children and their right to be to a great childhood, because our children are Nevada's future. April is National Child Abuse Prevention Month. And so wear blue on April the 1st. And there's different things that you can do in order to support that. There's also information that you can get on the Nye Community Coalition. They have information on recognizing child abuse and how to prevent child maltreatment in your community. We also have some information on gambling and if you have a problem with it. And you connect with us on Facebook at Hope and ICC, and that'll give you food connections. And the rest of them are things that we do all the time, which is the disposal of drugs to do it safely, and the genealogy thing for adverse childhood experiences. The General Coalition Mission meeting is on March the 19th.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Sam, that was a lot.
Ah.
Sam, do we have anybody on the phone?
We're busy.
Daryl Lackey, Lackey. Lots of times I get accused of saying crazy things. In this room, just earlier, one of the ex-commissioners dictionaries and stuff. Oh, that's not true. Something that's absolutely provable to be true. What I like is truth. Truth, not nonsense like TV offers. Truth, real stuff. What's real? And if I don't know, I'm going to find out. I've joined about everything that there is over the years. Been a member of 3 different churches. I entered the Freemasons here as an entered apprentice. I know what I'm talking about when I do stuff. I became a Republican for the Ron Paul movement in '08, and Ron Paul's message was, you can't leave it up to them, you have to do it yourself now. You can't leave government up to those that want to do government, you have to do it. Somebody's got to get in there with integrity and do it. So I did. I ran for office, '08, 2010, 2012. I was a state delegate for the Republican Party, and we took it. Sparks one year, Reno the other year. But TV wasn't there. TV wasn't there. TV wasn't there. TV wasn't there. So it didn't happen, I guess, in these people's minds that everything that's real is on TV. Talking about religion and stuff, we got the first Testament. The First Testament was there to get an audience. So they had to tell the truth there. A firmament, water above. The firmament's there to separate the waters above and below. That's why our stars don't change. If we're turning, the stars would move. They wouldn't be in there long enough to name them. Oh, it's because they're so far away. Do you realize what turning means? There's no possible way what they teach is true. I test things. I go to mountaintops. And there's mountaintops over there, mountaintops over there. I go to the ocean. I go to California a lot. Every week I go to California. And I go to the ocean just to make sure it's all still flat. And sure enough, it is. Sure enough, it is. The stars never change. And here we got our government spending money on outer space things, Elon Musk crap. You realize how ridiculous that is as someone who actually is educated? Not educated by the system. The school was invented by the Illuminati, by the Kennedys and the Rockefellers, so that they could have a country full of workers, not thinkers. They want to stay in power. They want to own everything they want to own everything we pay interest on. They want us to buy stuff on interest payments and never own anything. That's why they have reverse mortgages when you're 90 years old. That's why they came up with reverse mortgages, so they can get it all back. We own nothing. I don't know how close I am to the 3 minutes, but I'm just going to call it right here.
Thanks, Daryl. Sam, do we have anybody on the phone?
No, Chair.
In Pahrump, please.
Good morning, Tina Dixon, Dickson, and Mellow, Mellow. I came today to show you my technique in training, and I'm going to actually use Charity, who's also in the audience. So that'll be my 3 minutes today to show you that. And I'm wondering, can I stop my 3 minutes for a minute and let the next person talk while I get set up?
Sure. Maybe?
Maybe.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as handing off your time?
Yeah.
I was going to come back for the time, actually. I only need a minute, so.
You're not yielding. I can't
Yeah,
time
what do you
somebody
think?
else while I've got one timer. So I can't time somebody else. You've got 2.31 seconds to, I don't know what to do.
Minutes or seconds?
Minutes to do.
Okay, DA,
Okay.
tell us. What do you want to do?
There's no right answer to this.
This
Okay,
isn't.
perfect.
Yeah, I mean,
Is this the proper forum, sir?
Not really.
No, sir. This is not the proper forum for this.
Yes.
I would
please.
love that,
Okay.
please.
We love what you do, clearly.
So I receive a grant periodically from the commissioners. The Veterans Fund is where that comes from, and primarily, or 100% of that goes to training dogs for veterans. We train dogs for everybody else as well. We have several non-veteran students that are training their service dogs and therapy dogs. And this is Charity. Charity is 5 months old, and she's our youngest student at this point. But we do train with pretty much 99% positive methods. We make sure that we create relationships and partnerships. So we like our dogs to want to do things for their partner as opposed to forced to do things for their partner. So all my students are extremely happy and peppy and perky and excited to work. So thanks, and feel free to come to any of our trainings. We have trainings on Monday and Saturday at 2, and everybody's welcome. Thank you.
Where are they?
6091 Katy Lane. And just come on in and observe. Thanks.
Thank you for that, and we definitely support what you do, and I've been to your graduation before, so.
Good job.
Okay, in Pahrump, please.
Hi, I'm Lynn Cartwright, and next to me is Emma, my service dog, that we graduated from the Sassy Trainer back in March. And I'm here to support Tina because Tina is not just a trainer that will train you and your service animal and then you're done. You don't have any reference, anyone to go back to if there's issues or anything like that. She's always helped me when I've had some issues or if I want to try something new with my service dog, and she doesn't charge. It's part of her program. So it is a continuing learning and training process that we have with Tina. And I just wanted to let you know that, what you guys are doing for us is amazing, and what Tina's been doing for us is amazing as well. And you're helping her help us veterans get the service dogs we need to help us get through everyday stuff. So just want to let you know that your money is being put to very good use, and it's not just training done, and it's a continuing relationship we have with her. So thank you.
Thank you for that. In Pahrump, please.
Hi, my name is Bridget. Last name is spelled H as in hotel, L as in Lima, A as in alpha, I as in India, N as in November, G as in golf. And I'm a volunteer at the Nye County Animal Shelter. And I've been there every day for almost over a week. And I like to put on the agenda a funding of a minimum of $500,000 for the animal shelter. And they need more space. It's overcrowded. As of March 15th, there are 104 dogs on the inventory, I think 12 cats and 1 pig. And there's always more animals coming in. They need staffing, not only for daily operations, but also for extra coverage when somebody gets sick or there's an emergency or they could use a vacation. And when I've been there, it's a skeleton crew. And the rooms would be filled up, animals coming in, and the phone's ringing, and people need to clean. And even though I want to volunteer very much, which I am, it is difficult for the people who do work there to drop what they're doing to hand me a dog to assist. So they need a lot more kennel attendants and at least an office assistant. So that's for more staffing, and also enrichment programs. So the animals, especially the dogs, they need mental and physical stimulation, and it's for their overall well-being, because if they're not cared for, they're not adoptable. And I would like to see a large pen with obstacle courses, and I believe there's a gold standard in Las Vegas there that you don't have to recreate the wheel. There's a good template there to follow for enrichment programs. And it's humanly impossible for all the dogs to be walked or cared for. It's not possible. There's hardly anybody there. And so it's not possible. So I would like to see the pens there for at least when the kennels are being cleaned, that the dogs can interact with those that are compatible with each other and also have human interaction. And they need, they have a lot of donations, but when I was there was only like 2 harnesses, and they were there only because they were donated. So I find that pretty sad that a shelter only had 2 harnesses, and then the waste bags are also donated. So the people who work there are donating themselves and the public, but there's lack of funding for the shelter to be efficient. And they're doing the best that they can with what they have, and I see that they're compassionate. And since a shelter is not really a desirable place where people increase their pay.
Excuse me.
Thank you very much for your comments, and I appreciate you helping out at the shelter. That's really cool of you. Sam, do we have anybody on the phone?
Yes, Chair, the caller is unmuted. Please speak and spell your name for the record.
Good morning, Commissioners. Michael David Garcia, Garcia. Can y'all hear me?
Yep.
Thank you so much. I'd like my comments also entered in on the record as well. And basically, I'd like to, try to have some kind of singularity when it comes to a conscience with the Constitution. So maybe a constitutional honorable mention may be due. For me, it's the right to travel, 1867 Nevada. Anybody that would put Terry versus Ohio above that is, I don't know, probably needs to be educated. But anyhow, it amazes me that there has been no comments when it comes to these atrocities being committed by our servants when it comes with federal income. And it's pretty baffling. But once you realize that folks have a tendency, when you give them unlimited power, they can turn a right into a privilege pretty easy. And I've seen it on full display on a state level with SB 354, which definitely violates due process as well as original jurisdiction. But our DA doesn't say anything about that. And I'm just trying to figure out, he represents the people. He represents you all. He represents the schools. And I'm trying to figure out how many times that discretionary conflict of interest has come into play when it comes to inferior codes and statutes. But we're seeing it unfold. Fortunately, we've got, a lot of good people behind it. The good thing about AI, folks, is when it comes to fraud and, doing these forensics on the processing of money against the Constitution. And it's real easy to see AI can travel through the cornfields every single way and back before we can humanly get one way to the end. And so for that reason, I'm thankful. And I truly am thankful for God's trust, because that's why I've been able to stand in. You think about it. I took all the bad county administrators on, as well as those crooked badges that seem to know how to push policy. I've exposed some of the judges in there. It's just we don't have a place to go. You know what I mean? So who's going to correct it? You know what I mean? Who's going to correct the judges? Who's going to correct the DAs? Folks, our children are being trafficked as well as our seniors, and the data doesn't lie. 20 million dead people on Social Security is just the tip of the iceberg. It's unlawful payment being distributed, and it's malfeasance with federal income. That is a very serious crime. Grandma can get 10 years for saying a prayer at an abortion meeting, or a clinic. You think about these funds.
Excuse me. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate your comments. In Pahrump, please.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Tom Waters, Waters. I'd like to talk first about the fact that I do a lot in the community, and one of the things I'm a chair of the Veterans Finance Committee, and we support the Sassy Trainer completely. If you notice, there are 3 dogs in here. You don't hear all the barking and everything else. She's an excellent trainer. You can talk to the students as well as the dogs and know that. So any support you can give her, we appreciate, because she definitely helped veterans, and she also helps the rest of the community. The other thing I want to talk about is Town Board, Pahrump Town Board. I think everybody knows I wrote some letters to the editor calling for recreation of a Pahrump Town Board. I plan to have a town hall meeting in May to try and find out just how much interest there is. I should have that over at the Valley Electric Conference Center. And I got a lot of positive response from the letters, and that's why I'm here before you today, to let you know that I'm going to continue pushing that. And whether we have an elected town board, appointed town board, or advisory board, I just think that the commissioners, the county commissioners, should be county commissioners, not town commissioners. And the Pahrump is a large town. We have smaller towns that have town boards, and Pahrump, we have enough talented people here to help the commissioners run the town of Pahrump. We have Armagosa, Round Mountain, and Tonopah all have town boards. We have Beatty, Belmont, Central Valley, Gabbs, and Railroad Valley that have advisory boards. But Pahrump has nothing except the commissioners. Not saying that you're not doing the best you can, but Nye County is a very large county. Pahrump is a large town. And I think with the assistance of people in Pahrump running the town board to help the commissioners run the town of Pahrump, I think it's a win-win situation. I also like to say that I served 4 years on the Pahrump Town Board, so I understand what's required and what's necessary. I will also say, for everybody to know, Tom Waters will never run for a position again. I'm not a politician at all, but I do know that Pahrump needs a town board, and so I'm going to continue to encourage that. And when we have the town hall meeting in May, I hope we'll have a big turnout, and people will give their views on exactly what they think and how they think of having a town board. A Pahrump town board is what we need. I would suggest that we have an elected one. I know people are talking about incorporation or a lot of other things. I think at this point, let's talk town board, and let's get the information we need here. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Sam, do we have anybody on the phone?
Yes, Chair, the caller is unmuted. Please speak and spell your name for the record.
Hi, this is Tim Bohannon, Bohannon. And my comments are as follows. Just a volunteer. How often does one hear the words, they're just a volunteer? The connotation tends to indicate a lack of ability, trust, accountability, competence, or more. So why is the work of volunteers undervalued? Is it because of pay grade? Is it because of perceived level of commitment? Or is the heart of the matter that volunteers are significant participants in the process, including Nye County government, as we've seen this morning, elsewhere as well? So when you talk volunteer, consider the commitment that many make, the cost that they spend on their own to be a part of that. Consider the years of service that many have provided. Unpaid, paid, doesn't matter. They're doing it because they want to, and they do it because they feel they can make a difference in their part of the world. Not for self, but for the county. Consider the ability and time commitments that many provide for this county. Thus, if in the course of any reference that a volunteer is just a volunteer, they're really not. Thank you.
Thank you for that. In Pahrump, please.
Ron Mortensen, Morginson. I submitted a public records request over the weekend. I'm interested in finding out exactly which county account the $400,000 came from to pay Angela Evans in the David Berkowitz case. I'm just interested in trying to figure out what county functions or programs have been hurt by the spending of that money, as well as obviously the taxpayers are hurt because that's like real money. It's not like artificial thin air type money. Someone suffered somehow. I'd like to know. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Sam, do we have anybody on the phone, please?
No, Chair.
All right. Nobody in Tonopah. We're going to close public comment and move on to number 3, please.
Item number 3, Commissioner Manager comments. This item is limited to announcements, brief discussions of public comments, correction of factual inaccuracies, direction to staff, or topics proposed for future board meetings. Lengthy deliberation of topics not on the agenda is prohibited by the Nevada Open Meeting Law.
Thank you for that. Commissioner Bain, you got anything?
Actually, I have a point of order, I think, and that is this on the consent calendar. We have this, and I don't fully understand this. We can't approve something if we weren't here. I'm just saying that's on there. It's 13-2. I don't know if you want to move that, however you want to handle that, but I can't vote on this, I guess, for whatever reason, so I won't vote on that unless you pull it out, I guess, of the consent calendar.
We'll get DA to chime in on that when we.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you for that. Commissioner Koenig, you got anything? Okay, then.
Just, at the last Regional Planning Commission meeting, an item came up, and it dealt with the cost of insuring your home, et cetera, in the town of Pahrump. And gentleman said that generally your insurance is going to go up maybe by 30-some-odd%. And according to him, it's because there are so many tumbleweeds, et cetera, laying around this town that can cause a fire. And so I'm advising you to make your tumbleweeds go away, and maybe our insurance rates will go down. They wanted me to give direction to staff to clean all that up, but I don't know how we can go on other people's property and clean their tumbleweeds up. So I'm asking you to do it yourself. I'm a guilty one. I'm going to burn them. So when you see a whole bunch of smoke, chiefy, that'll be me. That's all I got. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Jabor.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, everybody listening and here in chambers. Have a great day.
Thank you, sir. Vice Chair.
That was good. The same from myself, too. There is been talk about incorporation. I would like to inform the public that that is now off the table. By good authority, I've had the conversations with those who were going to lead the charge for incorporation, and it is no longer on the table. For the time being, it doesn't mean it won't come around again. It certainly has been there before. All right, thank you, Chair.
Thank you for that. Good morning, everybody. All I have for you is we did have a town board prior, and it was dissolved for, I mean, it was a shit show, to be honest, but it just was what it was, so.
Those were very well said words.
Yeah, thank you. So good morning, and here we go.
Good
Let's
morning.
move right on. Any managers? No? Yes. Go ahead, Miss Corey.
Thank you, Chair. I just wanted to let everybody know that the clerk's office has moved. We are officially over here at 2100 Walt Williams, right behind the chambers. Anything non-court related, so marriage licenses, fictitious firm names, just want to come and chat. This is where we're at.
Cool. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Chief.
Good morning, Commissioner Scott Lewis, Department of Emergency Management, LEWIS, and Fire Chief. And with me today is Captain
Means, MEANS.
So we're here to proudly tell you that both the Sheriff's Office and the agencies that I just mentioned received a certificate of appreciation from a Special Ops military group that has been conducting exercises here, very detailed and on things that we can't talk about, in 24 and 25, but it involved our agencies, and we were greatly proud to help support them, and they stopped in just to see us right before the meeting and gave us both these presentations. So,
nice.
Yeah, it's very cool, and we truly appreciate
Congratulations.
Yeah, good job.
And I just have one more thing. In the audience today is our new person in administration of Prompt Fire Rescue. Hillary, would you please stand up? So Hillary comes from the court system. Congratulations, Hillary.
Yes.
And I would be remiss to tell you that our longstanding person in administration, Jennifer Fanning, has been promoted and now works for Helen in finance. She will be greatly missed, and we truly appreciate all her efforts. And she has trained Hillary well. So we're moving forward with all that, and I just wanted to share those things with you today. Thank you.
There's some great movement. Congratulations to both departments.
Miss Christie.
Christy Sigmund, SIEGMUND, Manager of Animal Services. It was actually really nice to have a volunteer come up and talk today. I thought that was really great. And to Helen, she said 500,000. So just budget wise, right? So just throwing that out there. No. So really my big announcement today is if you haven't seen or heard already, we are closed to the public on Sundays temporarily. That has come with a lot of understanding, but also a lot of backlash as well, and some frustration. So just to put out there the reasons why we closed on Sunday. When we had chosen to open 7 days a week, we had anywhere between 40 and 60 less animals than we currently have in the shelter. So that is a huge significant increase from when we made that decision to now. As Bridget said, you know, we are understaffed. I do believe there is a difference between being understaffed and running lean. And some days we run lean. Most days we run very understaffed. When somebody needs to take a day off or have a doctor's appointment or go on a vacation, it really puts a hurt on us. And so kind of reiterating what Bridget said, which we are having conversations about increasing our staff, that is another reason why. And I even had someone say, well, Christy, that's your job. You should be there to cover. But I am. I'm already there 7 days a week, and if I'm not there 7 days a week, then I'm driving to Tonopah because I have a rock star up in Tonopah that is running that shelter phenomenally, and she needs my support too. So my 65 to 70 hours that I work, it can only go so far too. So we did make that decision to close temporarily on Sundays. When we do get more staff, more volunteers, we will readjust. And so I want to let the community know that this isn't a permanent thing. It's temporary so that we can get through. But I also want to ask the community, you know, who is upset. I charge you to come in, to volunteer, because with those extra hands, you can make a difference. You can help us reopen again on Sunday. When we are talking cleaning and sanitation and feeding and watering and all of the necessary things that these animals need every day, we need hands to do it. So please come in. You can be that difference. And for those who are missing their dogs, come and reclaim them. So just some numbers. The last 15 days of the month, we have had 67 dogs come into our shelter. 46 of them have gone out, whether that's through adoption or return to owner. But that still leaves us with over 20 animals that we have in our shelter now that we didn't have on the 1st of March. That's a big number. And when we have 2 staff members or 3 staff members and we're taking 130 and dividing them by 3, that's 50 animals apiece. That's a lot. It's a lot. So be part of the solution. I've said that before, but I'm going to continue to say it. Be part of the solution. Come in and volunteer. Come in and help out because you can and you will make a difference. Bridget has made a difference tremendously in the last week that she's been with us. Other people can make a really big difference too. So thank you.
Thank you for that. I think Commissioner Jabor has a question.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Christy, for everything that you're doing and your staff and your volunteers. But I just need some clarification, please.
Sure.
You're closed on Sundays to the public.
Yes.
But is there somebody there to help with the feeding and cleaning and?
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
And that is, and I do apologize, so part of being closed to the public is so that the person who normally sits up front and greets the people that come in can be the extra body in the back to help care for these animals. So that was part of why that decision was made. We are still there 7 days a week caring for the animals. Our animal control is still there 7 days a week to help with the community's needs, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. And the dispatcher is still there to help support the animal control officers as well. We just needed a little bit of a breather to send an additional person into the back to help with the animals.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
No, thank you.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Yes, go ahead, Commissioner.
Limited amount of people and maybe also not as many animals to take care of. What's the operation plan look like in Tonopah? How many days a week are you closed?
So Tonopah operates on an appointment only. So we do have both Chrissy Pope, Officer Pope, as well as a kennel tech that is there taking care of the animals in the shelter 7 days a week. But as far regarding adoptions, that is by appointment only. So Chrissy really wears a lot of hats up there, which is why I try and go up usually 3 times a month to help support her and be assistance because she needs that support as well.
Perhaps we should rethink the operation plan for the Pahrump, for our kennel here in Pahrump then, if they're able to operate by appointment only, maybe we should consider that and let there be less strain on the system. For consideration, you are the department head. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. Commissioners, you got anything else? No? Thank you, Christy.
Keep doing what you're doing.
Yes, please.
Thank you.
And drag those volunteers in.
And I'm afraid we're wearing her out, and so we need to think about this, okay?
Sam, do we have any managers on the phone?
Yes, Chair. The caller is unmuted. Please speak and spell your name for the record.
And 25. So we do have some items we're going to remove. Point 7, 13.8, 13.9, and 13.10. And then on
Please yelling at you from Tonopah, and Assistant Manager Dillinger is going, wait a minute.
It's 10 a.m. timed item for possible action, discussion and deliberation regarding
market change and investment growth for the month of January. Simply with Wells Fargo, you can see we have $624,000 being credited back into our investment account. We did have a slight increase in outstanding checks as far as vendor checks and payroll checks. Again, those checks that are issued on the last week of the month will definitely cause an increase in our outstanding check balances. My personal opinion, the bank reconciliation is looking great. All of our items are clearing out. And our reports are looking pretty good for the treasurer's report as well.
Thank you for that, Raylyn. Commissioners, do we have any questions for Raylyn?
I got a strange one for you for consideration, Raylyn, that you just pointed out for the,
Yes, ma'am.
the checks that are not clearing. I've seen other operations where companies only pay twice a month so that they can have those cleared by the end of the month. I'm just going to put that bug in your ear for your consideration. If that's something that you would like to, go ahead.
It's something that we could potentially visit. I would need to defer to that decision to the comptroller. Ultimately, I think between both our departments, the treasurer's department and our comptroller's office, we would like to set up direct deposits for a lot of our vendors and eliminate a lot of that mail being sorted through our postal system and the wait times. That is something that we've started to look into. Obviously, with going to a new system, we would need to wait until the new system is implemented before we could actively change those processes.
I love that, and I guess that would take a policy change too, of some sort potentially. So we will wait for the new system, and thank you for looking forward, both departments. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Commissioner. Commissioners, got anything? No? Public comment on this? Action? No? It's action. Let's open this up to public comment, please. I didn't see it either until I just looked. Anybody on the phone, Sam?
Yes, Chair, the caller is unmuted. Please speak and spell your name for the record.
Yes, hi, Tim Bohannon, Bohannon. Paying attention to account 21542, which is a TPU, water construction, showing a negative balance, reconciled balance of $168,862.51. That's one item that is on the radar. And then the Nye County Schools continues, as we're accustomed to seeing now, a negative balance. It would be nice that would get cleaned up in the near future. Thank you.
Thanks, Tim. Anybody else?
If I may, Chair.
Sorry? Go ahead, Raylyn.
If I may, Chair. Thank you, sir. The Nye County School District is going to be cleaned up through our auditor entries. They are assisting us in reconciling the 71101 Nye County School District Fund and the 74711 State of Nevada Fund. So they are assisting us on that. And through the audit entries for fiscal year 24, we do anticipate those negatives to be resolved.
Thank you for that, Raylyn. Do you have anybody else, Sam?
You're welcome.
No, Chair.
All right, we're going to close public comment on that and move on to, let's do number 7, please. Then I'll skip over to 18.
Item number 7, 10 a.m. timed item for possible action, public hearing, discussion, and deliberation to adopt, amend and adopt, or reject the Nye County Sergeants Association agreement to include the reporting of the fiscal impact of the agreement effective July 1st, 2025.
Okay, Corey's presenting. Just kidding. Go ahead, hello.
Ilona Goldner, Goldner, HR Director. I am here for any questions you may have.
Thank you. Board, do we have questions?
We have been very well briefed. Thank you,
we were.
staff.
All right, let's open that to public comment. Do we have any public comment?
No, Chair.
All right, we're going to close public comment and
Motion to adopt.
there you go.
Second.
4 seconds.
Motion in 2 seconds. If there's nothing further, I'll call for a vote.
Aye.
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 Where's I?
Boscovich, aye. That carries 5-0. Thank you. Let's do 18 because the court staff is short today and we don't want to take up all their day.
Good morning, Commissioner.
Commissioners, Whitney Richardson.
One second.
Hold, please.
It is green.
Item number 18 for possible action, discussion and deliberation to approve a request for authorization to use the Nye County EIN for opening new bank accounts without Nye County approval at the discretion of District Court Judge Kimberly Wonker in the 5th Judicial District Court, and to transfer District Court accounts from the Nye County Clerk to the District Court of the 5th Judicial District.
Thank you for that. Go ahead.
Hi, Whitney Richardson, RICHARDSON. That's not what I have written on my agenda items. Yes, no, it is on top. So what we're looking to do, just so there's no confusion, is we currently share bank accounts with the county clerk, and her name is on.
Excuse me, is your mic on?
I think it's on, but I think it's pointing.
Talking.
You may not be close enough to it.
There
Is
you
this
go.
is that
Perfect.
better? Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So we currently share bank accounts with the county clerk, and her name is on those bank accounts. We're just looking to change those over to the 5th Judicial District so we can deposit money. So we're not looking to open different bank accounts for the district court. We just want those names changed over for us since we do have the MOU in place. And we're also looking to open a specialty court account for our drug court, because we do take drug court fees, and for the AOC and the Supreme Court, we have to keep track of that money. So we would like to use the EIN to open that bank account for the drug court under the 5th Judicial District, just for county oversight as well, and county recording and things like that.
My problem here now is that what I'm hearing you say is completely different.
Yes, sir.
Than what the agenda item says, and I don't know how to make a motion or how to vote on something that's not really on the agenda.
That's a concern I have, and also to just update the court, I have started discussions with counsel for the court to try to resolve some of these financial matters. It is something I think we need to clean up with the transfer that has previously been agreed to provide the court control over their county clerks. So I think that it is premature at this time, that I would like to continue with my discussions with the council, because this is one of the things that's on the table as far as how to arrange this. And, because the thing is that the issue we're going to get into here is that, yes, it's court funds, but the funds actually come to the county, which is required to manage them for the court. And that doesn't mean that we control what the court does, but we still have to be responsible for making sure that they're audited, everything is being done appropriately. So we can't give up that type of responsibility.
Not with our EIN in jeopardy. We
Exactly.
are responsible,
Yeah.
period.
And so I think there's ways, but we need to work this out through what I'm doing with my discussions with counsel for the courts.
I would like Chair to consider not motioning on this item, but
Yes.
Go ahead, Commissioner.
Thank you, Commissioners. Chair, thank you. Thank you, Whitney and DA. For the record, I just want to share that as part of the backup, it clearly reads that the 5th Judicial Court has officially separated from Nye County.
Through the MOU, yes.
Yes, I understand. However, if there is the separation, then when this does come back, I would hope that part of the plan is that the court applies for your own dedicated EIN number and not have the county's EIN number, especially where there has been the separation physically of the buildings, physically of the staff, et cetera. And as the DA said, part of what he said is that with the court funds and the county being able to monitor, there's the checks and balances. And that's why this was basically put into place.
And we do have Todd Creer on the line to answer any questions as well. We have explored other avenues as far as the specialty courts go to get that bank account. And because the 5th Judicial does have the MOU in place, it is our specialty court. We did want that county oversight for recording purposes. That's why we want to use the county EIN for the drug court fund. That way there is that oversight through the county. We're just looking to change the names for the bank account away from Corey to us, so she's not responsible for our district court fees, our jury trust, things of that nature. That's just what we're looking to do. And if if you would like me to rewrite the agenda item and change the language to make it more clear, if that would help, I'm happy to do it and come back, whatever you all need me to do.
Yeah, I would like to see a new agenda item that specifically says what you want to do instead of what this says, which has got nothing to do with what you want to do.
Okay.
And I would also like to know the other 14 rural counties. I would like to know if they have a separate bank account under their own control for their district courts or whatever.
I'm not sure what the other counties do. I know Justice Court has their own bank accounts that they work with, the Pahrump Justice Court. So we're just looking to do the same thing. So we can make those deposits and run our department. So we're just looking to do what Justice Court is doing.
My issue strictly is limited to, it's still Nye County. So I feel like it's a bit of a risk for the county to release control of those checks and balances on that.
If it's got our number on it.
Odd, because it is the county's EIN number.
If you want the separation that you've asked for, the EIN would not be used.
Okay.
That's my opinion, but let's leave that to his DA to determine.
So how do we move?
Mr. Chairman? Yeah, may I speak?
Yes, sorry.
I just had a couple, I always feel like I'm walking into someone else's fight, and I don't know if what we're talking about is really the fight, but I'll ask the question anyway. I would like to know, and maybe, Madam Controller, do you know is this something that is typical, whatever the situation is? Is it atypical? Is it typical in other states? Is it not typical in other states? Are there comparative scenarios here?
We do have separate bank accounts existing, such as she mentioned, Justice Court. They are for petty cash purposes. And so every external bank account, even if with our EIN, has a specific purpose to receipt in, not make any disbursements, but receipt in cash from the public and make change. And so they do eventually get recorded into our system, but it's a manual entry and reported monthly. So we do have reports of monthly collections from all the entities, such as District Court. We have a lot of Pahrump entities that make change with the public as a regular course of business. So we do have that. But it is very specific to purpose. We do not pay invoices from that bank account. We do control that centrally with our own bank account. So these accounts that she's mentioning are for petty cash change-making purpose.
And is that something that is typical, what she's asking for, or is it not typical?
It exists.
It exists because of the collections from the public for court fines, all sorts of fines and fees and collection with the public that we do. So yes, it is very common and it is a necessity to make that happen.
Madam Administrator, is the same scenario going on in other counties in the state, or no? Do you know if the same situation, because we have all these weird court names that I don't know the Nevada law system. It seems weird to me. So are there other similar situations going on in other counties that you're aware of, or no?
That are splitting.
Yeah, doing this with the EIN number, whatever you're asking.
I don't know what the other counties are doing. Other courts have split from their counties as well. To my knowledge, those are just direct splits, and I'm sure the DA would know better than I would as far as.
I just like to know that. I'm not saying one way or another. I just like, and I understand we're in a little bit different position because we're a larger county than a lot of these tiny counties with, 800 people living in them or whatever. But maybe find out what these other counties, and I know you had said that, Mr. Chairman. I would like to see that. And I'm not saying it would necessarily affect my decision, but I would like to know. So that's just all I have to offer, and I thank you, Mr. Chairman.
To my knowledge, the 8th Judicial District Court, they are completely split off. They're a different entity. We have an MOU, so we have an done any legislative oversight. We just want to be able to make change to deposit our money into the bank accounts and just be able to operate in that way. We're not.
Comptroller, you got something?
Can I add that when we do migrate, we are looking into bringing all of these functions constantly take to our system and record it. So it's basically double bookkeeping. So we are trying to eliminate that as much as possible. And it is possible. It's just that when we set up Eden, that wasn't considered and that was not configured. But it is a configuration effort that will be exploring, and we're willing to actually make an effort to actually bring all of these bank accounts in and do petty cash accounting with one system, our official system.
And if I could just add, it looks to me like this might be sort of out of our hands. I don't know if this is necessary. If it's a legal issue, we'd have to defer to council. I mean, that is true. And I'm not going to, if council says that they don't want this because of some legal reason, I guess we'd have to change the law to change it. I don't really know, but I just want to make the point. I don't know that we need to throw all these kind of wonky policy things out there. If legal counsel says there's some legal problem, we unfortunately probably have to adhere to that. I mean, unfortunately, but even if it makes sense, we would have to probably defer to that. So that's all I have to offer. And yeah, I recommend we just, don't do anything. Thank you.
Thanks, Ian. Or Commissioner, sorry. Okay, let's open this up to public, please. Do we have anybody on the phone, Sam?
Yes, Chair, the caller is unmuted. Please speak and spell your name for the record.
This is Tim Bohannon, BOHANNON.
Who has control over